I'm saying I can start the conversation.
Okay. She just told me we can start it. Oh, but I need you to do the intro. Okay. All right. Well, welcome back, fam. We're here today. We're going to talk about TV shows. If you ended up watching the episode that we did about food and snacks for the kids, it's going to be the same concept. We're just going to talk stages of life and shows that impacted us. All right. All right.
I got a list for this. So TV shows as a child, right? I was very much into Teletubbies. Poke your stomach out. Ooh, love those. Um, Dragon Tales. I can still watch that show today. I think it was fun, educational, and it had dragons. And
Okay.
then the Fresh Meat Band. I'm not sure if you guys know that TV show. It was on Nickelodeon. Um,
Yeah. I was a Disney kid.
it was the only show. Fresh Meat Band and Backyardigans were the only two shows I watched from Nickelodeon. That was it. But Fresh Meat Band is probably how I got into music because it was pretty much all about music, all about instruments, all about sound, a beat, everything. I still love that show. I try to look for it a lot and play it for the kids, and then they look at me like I'm crazy, but it's okay.
Okay. I actually did not go that far back, but now that you said it, um, I thought, all right, so I don't remember personally watching it, but apparently I was really big on Sesame Street. My parents tell me that I watched it a lot.
I like Elmo's
Um,
World.
I was big on Barney, and I remember watching Barney. Barney was great. Um, and while I was a Disney kid, I think in my early years I was really a Nick Jr. kid. Franklin was the show.
Ooh, Franklin.
Hey, it's Franklin.
Or Little Bill.
Yeah, I was, well, Little Bill was a little bit later for me. I was already grown by time, or not grown, but I was older than the Nick Jr. target audience by the time Little Bill came out.
You make me feel young.
Yeah, there's a gap there.
I know.
I wasn't saying it was a bad show. I'm just saying I didn't really watch it. It wasn't for me. But I'm glad that it was there for you. I like did see some episodes of it, and I watched it with my youngest sister. Like it was years later, so it was already in syndication by then.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's a good show.
Hmm.
All right, so like elementary.
Oh, that was my elementary.
Oh, I thought
Maybe
you went back to like toddler, like pre-K stuff.
no, that was elementary school too. I think Wonder Pets maybe in elementary. Um, Little Einsteins. That's all I can think about. Elementary was in Korea, so there wasn't a lot of free time to watch things.
Okay.
We were always either at church working, doing something for church, or at school. Um, me, I was always with mom, whether we had to go to Shanice's softball games, basketball games, KJ. What did KJ do? Um, it was mostly Shanice. I'll say that then, because I don't actually remember KJ doing a sport yet. He might have. I don't know. I don't remember.
Okay. All right. Well, then my elementary list is a little bit expanded. I considered all the years of elementary, and then uh, the time spent with my grandmother. So when I was younger, and my dad was deployed, I was with my mom. My mom was working multiple jobs, and so I spent a lot of time with my aunt and my grandmother. And they did have cable, so I could see some things that I could not see at my own house where we did not have cable. So Power Rangers was like my big like go to, the original ones, Mighty Morphin. Um, and then when they became ninjas, I was still about it. When they switched to Turbo, and I know I'm skipping Zeo, I'm not necessarily going in order, just the ones that I watched. I was still about it. And then they went to space, and I was still about it.
I didn't know that there were so many Power Rangers. Not gonna lie.
Oh, oh man, there, and that's not necessarily seasons. because some of those were more than one season. So like
Those are just the shows.
Power Rangers is still on today.
I know.
Like I've watched some with Clay, and it's actually kind of because they still connect the storyline back to the original. So like we it's another bonding opportunity with Clay because I can be like, hey, he's like, oh, that old guy. And I'm like, that old guy was the best Blue Ranger that ever existed back in 1995. He's like 19. What's a 19?
19.
So Cartoon Rise, Recess was my show. I was all about TJ Detweiler. He was great. And Vince. Texas Parker Ranger. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I, I said I don't know why I said Texas Parker Ranger because but I meant Walker Texas Ranger. That's what I meant. I watched that with my grandmother. That was her show. But you still don't know what it is.
Nope.
Okay, I'll have to show you some. It's yeah, it's a staple. And then Touched by an Angel. That was my mom's show. I used to watch it with her at
I've
Della
heard of
Reese.
it. Yeah, Della Reese.
Yeah. And then my favorite Superman, Dean Cain, Lois and Superman TV show that I still sometimes watch the reruns back on the WB app because I think Dean Cain was great. And he gets a bad rap because, it was unrealistic, but it was also the 90s. Like, I think they did great for what they were able to do on a TV budget. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for elementary school.
I'm trying to think. I guess we were also in Florida for my elementary. Um, maybe El Paso. Elementary was we moved a lot, so I am thinking of shows. I think co- Codename Kids Next Door
That was a good one.
was one.
That was middle school for me, I think. But yeah.
Tom and Jerry.
Ooh, yeah, I forgot. I used to watch stuff on Boomerang. Yeah, Super Friends was a big elementary one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Looney Tunes.
yeah.
Thought I saw a pretty cat. But yeah, I think that's all elementary. Probably might have been middle. It's all a blur.
Okay, middle school for me, I started getting into Japanese anime, but or what I thought was getting into Japanese anime. It was the shows that came on the Saturday morning cartoons in America. But when you talk to actual people that like follow Japanese anime, then they're like, "Oh, you're just lame because you only watch the dubbed version." And I was like, "Well, yeah, I enjoyed it, and I didn't have to read at the bottom of the screen."
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but yeah, Digimon, that was my very big, especially season one. It's great. I still think that it's some of the greatest TV I've ever seen, and I will die on that hill. Digimon movies, the greatest movie of all time.
Still have no idea what Digimon is.
I need to start writing a list of things and that's going to be one of our episodes where I just like show you like this is what happened when you were I don't know probably 2-3 years old, but you need to know because it's great, makes you a better human. That's a Raven was a big thing.
Ooh,
It was
okay.
new at the time, and I could go to friends' houses after school and catch the new episode on Friday. And Liz McGuire, um, I don't know if I was like a super fan, but it was on Saturday morning. I watched it, and Kim Possible.
Kim Possible.
I thought that Kim Possible was some of the greatest TV I had ever seen. Thought it was great.
Okay.
That's middle school.
Um, Middle school for me, I'm going to say I watched The Proud Family. Um, Middle school, let's see. Middle school was YouTube. I watched a YouTuber called Raven Lease. Back then, I think she was doing like makeup, so I was like pretending to be interested in makeup, but she also did like, what do I eat in a day? And I'm pretty sure she also was pregnant, so like what her and her daughter eventually is what it became. But now she's like bigger than all of that, and her daughter's like 8, and I think it's crazy that I watched her daughter grow up. Which it's kind of like with Clay, where I'm like, he's about to be 7. Anyway, movies that made this one's more of a movie. Roots. I will say that made me to be who I am now.
Oh, okay. I will accept that. I will because I was like,
I know it's a movie, but
no.
it's a it's a movie, but there's different series.
Okay, sure. But your argument is that it had a large impact on who you are today. Okay.
Yeah, I went back to school, changed person. That's a whole conversation for
Oh yeah.
another time. Um, middle school. Honestly, I was busy with sports. I was doing basketball, soccer, softball, track. So TV was irrelevant to me. So I'll just say like the Proud Family was probably the most watched thing for me.
Yeah.
Hannah Montana, maybe. Yeah.
Okay. So your middle school, like you were saying, like YouTube time, that was high school for me. So I watched a lot of Japanese animes that got leaked onto YouTube. That was the thing. I watched Naruto,
Mhm.
Naruto Shippuden, which it's the same. It's just older storyline. A show called Case Closed, because I'm really just I like mysteries. Um, this kid solves or he's not a or he is a kid because he's like 17, but I think they give him a potion or something, and it makes him look like he's 9 or 10.
Okay.
And so the 10-year-old kid, it looks like to everyone else that the 10-year-old kid is solving these crimes, but he's actually like 17. That show's great. I just described it very poorly, but it's a great show. Hikaru no Go, Ultimate Muscle, which actually might have been more middle school, but I think I went back and watched it in high school. Um, and there are some other shows like that, I think, too, because we lost cable. We had cable for a little bit while I was in middle school, and then we lost it, and I missed out on some. And then while I had strong internet and YouTube, I went back and watched all the shows that I missed. And then UPN was very big as a channel um, during this time, and it had a lot of black shows, and so I watched the
Oh,
Parkers.
Urban. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Parkers.
Um,
Ooh, the Parkers.
and I think Eve's show was on that channel, and it was like a really big deal. And I was living in New York City. It was great. And then I don't know, it got disbanded or bought up or something. And then King of Queens, and I think that was also specific to New York because it was off TV, but I think it was still playing in New York City, which I thought was a great show. I had never heard of it before, and then fell in love with Kevin James. It's great.
High school for me. I liked Rosalie and Isles, which is like a detective, and her best friend is the yeah, that person. Um
Right?
the person that like looks at the body. I can't even think of the name right now.
Oh, with
Yeah.
the Emmy medical examiner.
Yes, medical examiner. So Rosalie and Isles was big for me. I liked watching that because I like trying to solve what was going on, but outside of the medical examiner. Woo-hoo. And her dad is like her dad. The medical examiner's dad was also like the kingpin. So
Oh, drama.
exactly. So Rosalie and Isles. I also YouTube was also really big for me because I was always doing something. So not a lot of TV per se. So I liked watching Rihanna Janice, Maya Graves, Robin Robinson, which is how I get all of my basketball, Gamecock Nation, stuff, which I still have to go watch a game today. Shakayla Felice, which is a vegan YouTuber. Am I vegan? No, but I like her food. It looks like it would be good to eat. I personally am not vegan, but if I had to attempt or try anything, I would probably make something that she's made because it looks good. Um, Other things, the Parkers, Living Single, love Living Single, Queen Latifah, love it. Braxton Family Values.
Okay. All right. What are you watching today? Or styles of shows if you don't have like a specific show?
Styles of shows. So still big on YouTube because the kids are always on the TV, or I only put things on the TV that I feel like the kids can actually watch. Um,
Sure. I should probably do better at that.
so a lot of YouTube, still a lot of Rihanna, Shakayla, basketball is also one because I like basketball. Um, so a lot of sports for me. We will watch LSU gymnastics because that is Bella's favorite school. It's the
Because
purple.
it's purple.
Yeah, the purple school. But we can only watch LSU gymnastics when they're at LSU. They have to be at the purple school.
I think that's fair.
I put on LSU versus Arkansas, thinking she's still watching the purple school. No,
It's like everything's red here.
yeah, it was a problem. Full on meltdown, by the way.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
It's at the purple school. I was like, but it's red. So I had to put on the purple school. Um, a day that really wasn't worth it. Anyway, um, so YouTube, I do like my favorite show. Like if I have to pick one, is Bob Hart's Abishola. I like Nigerian things. I think it's funny how Abishola is like, what do you mean you got money for your grades? You get good grades because you're bringing honor to your family, and if you don't, you get beat. Bob's like, I got $10 for an A. What do you mean? Or like Abishola's son had a 91, which apparently is bad. I find that disheartening. I was like, never look at my report card then, because I had lower than a 91. But Bob was like, it's a 91. It's fine.
Yeah, it's an A.
It's an A. And they're like, no.
Especially with the new scale, I heard it went down. It's like 85 to 100 is an A now. Or maybe that was specific to a certain state. I don't know. I didn't look into it that much. Didn't care.
But it's funny because she's mad at her son for having a 91. And she's like, you need to do all the extra credit. Why didn't you study for the pop quiz?
That's
You should have studied for the pop quiz. But it's a pop quiz. We didn't know it was coming. Well, you should have known.
I
Okay.
feel that.
So Bob Hart, Abishola, um, the Upshaws. I like the Upshaws.
Okay. Uh, I would not necessarily say that I have a show that I'm watching right now. I keep shows kind of in rotation. Um, the Equalizer was a big one for me, but now it's become an Us show, so I haven't watched it because Shanice and I haven't watched it together. So maybe I can get her to sit down and
Watch it.
watch an episode here shortly, or maybe I'll just tell her like, "Hey, I'm going to watch it, and if you catch it, you catch it," because I'm pretty sure the entire season's out now. I finished up Blue Bloods.
Ooh, Blue Bloods is
Slash
good.
Blue Bloods also finished their final 14th season, and I had never really watched it before. This is like 2015. I
Mm.
saw an episode and I was like, "Oh, this show's kind of cool." And then I went back to the very beginning and watched it and caught up, and then watched it in real time. And I feel like I grew so much with that family. I feel like I know them, and I don't know any of them at all. Uh,
But
which is kind of what happened with Bull. I had never heard
oh,
of it,
Bull's good.
but my friend Jared was in an episode, and so I watched that one episode, to support him and everything. And I was like, this show's kind of good. So I went back to the beginning, and then I watched it straight through until it finished. Um,
I think you would like Lie to Me then if you like Bull.
yeah, it's in my list of shows, uh, and that's why I kind of put like overall. So anything Will Smith or like Sherlock Holmes, detective. I'm a huge Sherlock fan. I
Yes.
did I did Sherlock. I did Elementary. Other things that are like Sherlock, like House, is kind of it, the plot is not like Sherlock, but how the story is set up, like how House is very very Sherlock Holmes. Um, and then yeah, I'm a fan of legal dramas. I did the Good Wife and the Good Fight and All
Hmm.
Rise.
All right. Ooh, I still have to finish watching that one.
Though their last season, I was not a super fan. Um, and it really had everything to do with new writing and new channel,
Mhm.
because it's when OWN bought it, they made it more of a love drama story as opposed to the legal drama that it was when it was on CBS. And no, I didn't really appreciate it. And I think not so much just because it was a love. Like I'm okay with a love drama. I think it was how it was written, and it felt forced, and it felt like it was outside of her character to do that. Like the character that we had grown up with the past two seasons, it felt fake.
I get you.
And also, even if it wasn't fake, if this was the person that you were going to cheat with, like, is that the dude really? Like, I didn't feel it. I was like, he's not that dude. But I guess he was. Whatever. I watched it, so like I can say like I disliked it or whatever. They got some ratings from me. Um, yeah, I think that's it.
Um, I like medical series, so I watch Grey's Anatomy. I watch Chicago Med. I've watched LAPD, Chicago PD.
Which which are not hospital shows, by the way.
Okay, I said I like it. They all connect because Chicago Med, Chicago Fire, and Chicago PD, they all kind of intertwine because all the characters are the same, just like Grey's Anatomy and 911, Seattle 911. I can't remember what it's called right now. They are all connected. Like you still have Ben Warren and Miranda Bailey in all the shows, so it's all intertwined. Um, I also like black drama. Black drama is on a whole different level
Is that the
of
name of a
pettiness.
show?
No, like just the entity. Like
So you probably would have liked season three.
I like Sisters, Fatima, all the Queensmen. Granted, there are some provocative things in all the Queensmen because it is about a male strip club, but you also have the queen who is a beast and you don't mess with her, you don't play with her. She will cut your head off with anything around. Like she's a beast. Family business, drama. I like drama. Give me a good drama show and I will probably binge watch it. Or comedy, because the Upshaw is comedy. I like Brown. Brown makes everything funny. Brown is just a character in itself, so Brown. Meet the Browns.
Yeah, that it. You look like you were still thinking about it. All right, cool. All right, we off that. Hey, thanks for joining that. Also, my camera is about to die, so it's probably also a good time to stop. Uh, have fun, but not too much fun. Keep.
Bye.